we have been able to put these three cars together at our shop. We don't own the Super Bowl Coupe. Frank Morosky in Maryland has always been very, very generous, very kind to let us use the car whenever we want for anniversaries or whatever we want to do with it. Now, as we fast forward, 1975, where we kind of fall into the picture, my dad was an auto parts store owner here in the Kansas City area, and he also had a rod shop. So he sold general automotive parts that all of our cars need, but he also sold hot rod parts, became acquainted with Pete and Jake. So my first memory of a car, of hot rods, goes back to 1975. I was 5 years old, and my dad brings home a 34 Ford 5 window because of watching the movie, seeing it, found one, brought it home, and then called Pete and Jake and started ordering parts, ordering pieces, ordering parts, and became familiar with who they were. Well, at the time, they were looking for distributors, guys to sell their parts. So my dad became a Pete and Jake dealer and became a Super Bell dealer at the same time. So my dad started servicing guys here in the Kansas City area and in the Midwest with pieces and parts from Pete and Jakes. Then we moved forward to 1986. In 1986, we purchased Pete and Jakes and also the California Kid and moved it from Southern California to Kansas City. Now, of course, within an industry, you're taking an iconic car from California and a business, and you've got some, of course, some hillbillies in Missouri that are going to take it. What are they going to do with the car and the company? So we were able to take it and move forward with it. And Pete has always been kind enough in the conversations that I've had, and always thanking my dad and I for continuing it on, because he knew what could have happened, because he and Jake had finally come to a crossroads where they didn't really want to move forward, so they were able to entrust us with it, and that's something that we look at it as being entrusted with. And then in 1999, we bought Super Bowl Axle and moved it here to the Kansas City area to join both companies back once again. The people ask us, well, what's it like to own the cars? And my dad has always used the same reference. We don't own them. We're just taking care of them. We're caretakers. Everybody owns a little piece. Everybody's got a piece of their history or their piece of the car, what they remember seeing, what it inspired them to do. I mean, they could have seen this car and they may not have built that car. They would have built something else. They see the flames on it and put flames on a motorcycle, put flames on a bicycle, put flames on anything. So there's always an inspiration to each one of them. And for us, of course, when we found out about coming to the museum and partnering with the museum, it was just an exciting thing to be able to do, to put the cars in an area where people could share them and people could see them. And that's why we put them on our showroom, and we try and take them to as many shows as we can also.